Hello. Hi, I just thought I'd do a very quick video, and Daisy has jumped in the way. Haven't you, Daisy? Oh, thank you. So yeah, Tamar doing the lived experience practitioners discrimination diary, where I'm just talking about the kind of the impact, sort of the kind of stresses and discrimination that we face, just sort of on us. Do you know what? This is lovely actually, because I've been. Do you know what? I'm finding that every weekend at the moment I'm feeling really down. And most the last I think about 4 weekends I've basically just spent in bed because I feel so. I'm just feeling so low. It could be a couple of things. This time of year isn't great for me because it's obviously you've got New Year's, you've got the holidays and everything. I think holidays are difficult for a lot of people. For me, it's because my mum died sort of on New Year's Day. Not this year, like about, I don't know, 15 years ago or something. Yeah, 15 years ago. Oh, bless her. And yeah, so of course it's difficult when it's I suppose like a day like that. You know, New Year's Day is kind of a big day, isn't it? So you you remember it, and you'll always be it's always a day where you'll be off work on some sort of holiday or not. Do you know what I mean? You won't be in a routine on the day, so it leaves you more open to reflect on stuff. But yeah, so I'm kind of like aware of that, but at the moment I'm so I think that what the difficulty is that I'm really struggling with the impact of the meds that I'm on. So most of the time my vision is blurred. I put this all in the last video basically, but I'm just trying to show that the impact kind of, it's not just sort of a day here and there, it's kind of, oh sorry Daisy, it's like most of the time, and it's gone from being kind of intermittent to most of the time now my vision is blurred, and when I look at things are kind of grayer, or the whole vision just looks sadder, looks like sad. And so when I see a sad vision I feel sad. You know what I mean? I'm looking at life through a sad lens at the moment. So like literally, isn't that weird? It's like your body kind of is I find it really weird that a lot of the health impacts that I'm experiencing are almost like the bodily representation of the way that I'm feeling. So like, sad vision, sad eyes to look through. Isn't that weird? Yeah. So yeah, brain going nuts with epilepsy, because I'm kind of been trying to figure out for ages how to I don't know, just how to shift things or make things a bit different, or just try and sort of almost solve this puzzle that seems unsolvable. So yeah, I just thought I'd record that bit, because I don't know if I can't remember anything as well. This is another thing. I don't know, I forget stuff, repeat stuff. I'm kind of, I don't know. I had I can't remember if I said this in the last one, but basically I fuck, that's a good example, isn't it? I'm chatting and I can't remember what I'm saying as I'm chatting. Shit. Not good. But again, look at you scratching, Daisy. Oh, you think we didn't give her flea treatment? We do. She had a vaccine yesterday. Anyway, what am I chatting about? Yeah, so I think part of the reason why I'm feeling so down about this, I had so for instance, because of COVID, I've had my consultant's epilepsy consultant meeting at the hospital, whatever it is. So what I was hoping was that I can let them know about these symptoms, and then I don't know, I've been dreading it too, because it means potentially just, basically going on to other medication. So yeah, I'll be happy if I'm taking something that doesn't make my eyes blur, but then at the same time, these shitty meds, they seem to have, like, I don't know, horrible side effects if you get them. And when you're taking medication for something like epilepsy, you don't want, basically for it to be uncontrolled while it's being switched over, and to end up having another seizure and kind of back at square one again. So yeah, I'm feeling really low about it, and I think I'd looked up auras as well, and just kind of I don't know, just seeing, just trying to get sort of more of a defined idea of what auras could be or constitute. And I ended up kind of sobbing because basically I looked at it and I thought, how the hell do you tell the difference between, a lot of these symptoms are very much the same as symptoms that you get from stress for mental health. Obviously stress impacts on epilepsy, but how do you know which is which? And then on top of that, the really shitty crap thing is that the meds that you take have side effects. They're like the fucking epilepsy that you're taking them for. So how can you tell whether you're, because you can have auras where you have a migraine and like blurred vision. It can affect your vision and stuff. Although I think normally it's more sort of, migraine where you get the kind of the lights or the weird, I don't know how to explain it, but this is just I don't know. The other thing is though, is that when you when you talk about these things openly, I think it's helpful for other people and yourself as well, because I was thinking, I keep thinking to myself, is this almost like, is it real, or is it definitely these meds, is it just something else? And then I was kind of like griping about it on Twitter, and also I've had people respond kind of on the videos in the comments, thank you. And it's just really helpful to hear that other people experience that too, because I've kind of it's very difficult, because at what point do you think to yourself, actually I'm better off taking these meds than having issues with the epilepsy? Or part of me has been thinking, oh come on, it's not that blurred, it's just kind of, it's like blurry edges, and I don't know, but I feel so down when I look through, and it's partly because of the epilepsy, but also which again is part of the reason why I've started these diaries up, is again, it's the impact of trying to fight for equality at work. It's the impact of kind of like years of discrimination I've faced, and kind of writing it down and seeing it, and just realising, really, and then having, that hurts, it's really, really difficult, but then writing that down and almost kind of having being questioned, or whether that's I don't know, whether something counts as discrimination or not, or whether, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really care. I've been treated like shit. It's impacted my health. I want that to be recognised, and I want some reparation for that. And that's like the minimum to ask. I want change, obviously. I've always wanted change. That's been the main reason. But I just started to realise, actually, I'm worth more than that, and I'm sick and tired of helping to change things, and it's always at a cost. And you see change is made, and often others benefit from it, brilliant, that's the whole point of it. But often it costs, and often you don't see the benefit of that change. It's kind of, it's weird. I don't, most of the time I don't really think about that, but it started really getting to me, and I think it's the fact that this has impacted on me so badly, and just knowing that, again, the reason why I started these diaries was to it was to talk about the impact, but to hope that the impact would, I don't know, inspire some kind of help, or some I feel sad now. It was hoping that it would I don't know, inspire some help, or inspire I don't know, like obviously there's the legal representation with, if it was needed, to try and get the discrimination kind of side recognised, but the very least is that even if this discrimination side isn't kind of pursued, I've experienced essentially work-based injury, stress-related injury, whatever you want to call it. This is real, and it's really impacted on me. It's impacted on my health, but it's impacted on, finances, ability to basically get myself out of this situation, kind of into, I don't know, employment or educational opportunities, because I'm so depleted, to get away from how I'm treated so badly. And it's so that's really difficult, and I just feel like I need, obviously I want things to change and what have you, but I want to feel, first of all, I want to feel better, but also I do, I think part of where I'm going to find it hard to get better is the anger that I'm feeling at this being caused, and that at this hurting me so much and harming me so much. And so it's not just me, it's loads of people. It's not, it's not just me, but I imagine I'm feeling the anger that a lot of people are feeling. So again, another reason for popping this video out, that again, this gets just kind of documented kind of in a very raw way. I'm not, a lot of YouTube videos are going to be a lot better than this. They're going to be kind of scripted and lighted well, and kind of all the rest of it. So if I was doing something for a professional piece of work, it would be done very differently. Or I don't know, if I was doing some sort of teaching type thing or something. With these, I'm just kind of trying to kind of ramble on and just capture the the essence of what the issue is, for it to be kind of real, kind of raw. And part of that is going to be, if you're feeling good, the good stuff will come through too, so it's trying to document stuff just as it is. And yeah, it's just really difficult at the moment, because I feel like I'm turning into a bit of a scratch record, and it's so difficult. But and I think as well, I'm feeling stuck at the moment, because I just feel so low, and I suppose what I need to do is kind of I don't know, almost be able to what's the word, when you get your head out of something, I don't know, I almost kind of need peace from it to be able to I don't know, to be able to move on almost, but it's kind of, it's like it's impossible. It's like, I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I think oh, this is something that that I was thinking of actually. That it's I forget what it's called now. It's something like the time investment strategy. Sorry, fallacy. Or the investment fallacy, time investment fallacy. I've heard this referred to in terms of cults, and so I look at a lot of you know, kind of videos on kind of the impacts of fundamentalist or high control religious groups, partly because I'm trying to understand that the impact that has had on me, kind of like as an adult, you know, although I'm not brought up in one, but not in one now, but yeah, there's something about the again, I can't remember what it's called, but the idea is that the more you invest in something, the more time, the more money, the more I don't know, emotion, what you might have given so much, you know, even to the fact that you might have cut off family ties, or you might have, you know, massive investment in something. So then once you've invested so much into something, to then walk away from it is very difficult. And people it's why people stay and kind of have this kind of cognitive dissonance, where they won't you know, they won't listen to things that are things that are wrong with that you know, with that group or what have you. So they never actually get to I think when people are in that kind of stage, it's very, you know, it's very, you know, some people may never be able to you know, kind of come back from that, I suppose. But I was just thinking how how that mirrors it mirrors in a much smaller way, no, sorry, in a much bigger way, to what am I trying to say? What I'm experiencing at the moment is like a small version of that big version, if this makes sense. So it's not like you know, sort of being in a fundamental religious group, or kind of a cult, investing all your time and all your money and what have you into it. But in a way, it's kind of similar. So I spent like a decade of my life kind of like working really hard to change things, and thinking, oh, something's going to happen, just stick at it. And, you know, if you do this, or if you do that, or, you know, you get that master's degree, or you know, you keep providing evidence, or you find the literature, or you find case studies and examples, and blah 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 blah. It's like it's the right thing to do. So if you just kind of keep showing people, then they'll, you know, people are decent, they try and do the right thing, they'll just like do it, you know, or at least accommodate it, or kind of, or something, you know. And I think having so long of kind of investing that, and what that means is that it means that because I'm trying to work so hard for lived experience working, it means that you know, other jobs I could, you know, I could apply for them. I could like just completely go out of sort of mental health and, you know, work in, I don't know, sort of arts, research, whatever, you know. I'm kind of quite, I suppose I'm quite qualified. I've got a master's, I've got a couple of postgraduates, got a degree, I've got, you know, professional qualifications, blah blah blah, you know, work experience, etc., etc. So yeah, I could earn more and do better than what I'm at the moment. the funny thing is that the work that I'm doing at the moment it's complex and it challenges me, and it feels like it feels ethical and like a good thing to do. And I think if I look back at all my working choices, they've always had some kind of ethical side about them. I don't know, ethical or doing no harm or whatever, you know. Even market research, I suppose. Like, I wouldn't mind doing questionnaires and asking people things. But you know, if I was trying to sell credit cards or something, I would not feel good about that, you know. So yeah. So what I'm trying to say. So yeah. So if I come back to like the costs of that, you know, essentially I've hello Daisy again. So essentially, oh yeah, thank you. Oh, she's been really good actually. When I've you know, kind of spent a lot of time in bed or been sad, she's come and given me cuddles and love and kisses. Yeah. Oh, she's lovely. See, this is something else you can do if you're not feeling good and you've got a pet your pet. But yeah, coming back to that, it's kind of so one of the costs is your actual career, your finances, the stability that comes with you know, money and finances and you know, what have you. Before I was married and I lived alone, and when you're on a really low income, I used to really struggle. So if I could supplement that with self-employed work, I'd be doing all right, and I could keep my head above water. When the self-employed work either sort of dried up or, you know, was non-existent or very small for a bit, or, you know, for some reason invoices are late or something, then it meant I really struggled. Or if I wasn't feeling, I don't know, if things were getting to me and, you know, I was struggling, then that impacted on my mental health, which impacted on being able to do work. And I mean, it has in the past, it's really impacted on me, you know, horrendously. I mean, I think I'd had, you know, when you have, I've had like bailiff notices, I've had even like eviction notices. I mean, they've never kind of gone to actually having bailiffs on door or kind of actual eviction, but what that means is that then you have to go through a process of you know, finding some social help from, you know, some sort of care or support team or something, and things have got to that stage because you're not you know, you're not well, so you're struggling then to even contact people. So I've had that happen a few times, and again, a lot of the times things have been caused by you know, work. Like I had, you know, a while back, you know, almost 10 years ago or something, when I wanted to do my masters, I had to go through a grievance process at work to enable me to be able to do that. It's really I won't go into it, but basically just the process. 6 months. I mean, I won the grievance. I got to do the masters. Woo! But it cost me a lot. You know, it cost me my health for 6 months, and that cost you know, obviously with the masters, that cost me in terms of the actual, you know, going through that process and trying to do that at the time. You know, obviously the grades that I got weren't as good, or the cognition, ability to take things in, you know. So I was quite angry about that, you know, my first year experience was something that I was really passionate about, and had, you know, I'd applied several times to get onto that course, and each time not being able to get on because I didn't have organisational support, you know. So which needed to do the course. So I worked really hard to get onto it, and I was really angry that, again, anger coming into it, you know, that had happened, and you know, at the time I'd thought to myself, well, maybe I should, I don't know, sort of put in a personal injury claim or something, because I've had all this time off. I've been, I've ended up, you know, ended up with having to have sort of care support workers while I was at home, kind of hospital treatment at home. You know, my finances were bad. I think this is some time when I'd have to do something with, it's awful, it's horrible talking about it, kind of like, I don't know, debt collection people, and just really, really horrible. And these are the things that when you're going through stuff, you're not going to be talking about this stuff to your workplace who've kind of caused it. Do you know what I mean? They've caused through the you know, that's the impact of the stress, and it happens. They can't see that, you know, because you go to work and you put on a face and stuff, don't you? And you get on with it. I suppose what they just see is when you're, I don't know, if you've got time off, or you know, you're kind of going through a bad patch or something, or a bit stressed. You know, don't see the actual, you know, the terrible consequences of that. Again, I'm not alone in this. There's loads of people that have, you know, things have similar impacts when they're working, doing this kind of work. Doing loads of kind of work, but particularly for lived experience practitioners, you will find that a lot of people go through similar stuff. This isn't just me that's impacted on it at all. But some of the other impacts too. I mean, obviously, if your finances aren't great and you're struggling to cope and what have you, you know, there's I mean, for me, I'd always thought to myself that, you know, I've done this education, I've kind of you know, obviously working in mental health, you're working with big employers, and kind of, you know, there might be thousands of people in there, and you're thinking, because I work, because I do X, Y, or Z, and it's, I don't know, you kind of like stick with it, and you stick with it. And so the other cost is, I can, in the UK, most people end up getting, I don't know, mortgages, owning their own homes. There's all that sort of financial responsibility stuff, or kind of, you know, just things where if you're feeling more stable, in a better place, it's easier to have, I don't know, to have, I don't know, just like normal relationships, normal friendships, just, you know, kind of, just that bit of stability, and it, because it will then seep into the rest of your life. And I think with the stresses that I've had and time put in, and kind of, you know, educating myself in this area, and again, if you talk to a lot of other people, it's very, very, very similar. So it's not just me kind of, you know, feeling sorry for myself as such, but you know, it's a big cost, and over 10 years, that's a huge cost, because that's your time, that's your, I don't know, and I just feel, it's as well, because this isn't like I started doing this work when I was, I don't know, 20, and, you know, 10 years later, I've still got a lot of time to do other stuff. You know, I'm kind of like, not quite mid-40s, but, you know, not far off, so it's like, what's that cost me? Because, you know, if I've got to like sort of rejig everything, kind of career wise, you know, that'll take a bit of time, a bit of you know, getting financially stable again, or, you know, mentally kind of recovering, health being better, and that then means that, you know, all the, like I said, like the adult stuff, you know, the kind of I don't mean that in a kind of like, you know, porn way or something. X-rated way. No, what I mean is like the adult stuff, like you know, like kind of just having a mortgage, just kind of you know, being a lot more settled. I don't know, I'm kind of like you know, I'm single. And no, I'm not single. I'm married. I'm on a it's like I'm on a kid's wage. I've got no, I've got nothing to. It feels like I've got very little to show for where I am with the abilities I've got, or the education, or the experience. I don't. You know, I don't. I'm not on housing ladder. I'm not kind of. I don't know. I keep thinking about there's good stuff as well. There's some real kind of good stuff and things that I'm really proud of. But when I measure things in sort of whatever's called normal, I just realise that there's so much, that when I was saying I'm single, I didn't mean I'm single. I'm married. I'm in a much happier position than I've ever been, kind of, personal life wise, kind of thing. Now, what was in my head was like I don't, well, yeah, I don't know. I don't have kids or family or anything like that. I'm kind of I don't know, and which I don't mind. I'm kind of, but I was having this conversation with one of my cousins, and all the rest have got kids. I'm going, oh bloody hell, it's hard enough looking after ourselves and kids, sort of thing. It's a weird thing, isn't it? Where I don't know, human race is supposed to, like, I don't know, have kids and further the human race, or kind of, I don't know, you're supposed to have like hormones that kind of make you want to do this stuff and what have you. And then I think whenever I'm kind of kind of behind, like if I've been kept in this kind of, I don't know, childlike state in a lot of ways, or kind of like like I said, kind of sort of financially, sort of work responsibility, kind of just lots of different ways, then how if I'm sort of, if I'm a responsible human being, you don't want to bring kids into a situation where they wouldn't be stable or something. So maybe that just means I just don't naturally, I know that, so I don't want to inflict that on anybody, because I do care about people. So I don't know, I kind of I think I don't mind at the moment, but I just wonder if like later on I'd really regret it, or something, and be too late then, wouldn't it? If I've finally grown up by the time I'm like 65, fuck that time, are you? It's too late, so I think this is what I worry about with this whole like investment fallacy thing, and it's thinking that I feel guilty. I feel like, why the fuck did you put up with this for so long? Why did you, really berating myself? But then at the same time, I think, it's not like there were a lot of things, it's not like I had a load of opportunities if I was, if I was still, I don't know, it's not like there are a load of lived experience jobs that I didn't go for or something. It's not that I I would really have had to live the discipline that I really kind of care about. So I've had to just watch other people kind of zoom up, or kind of be, find be able to do that a lot more. I mean, it's not easy. I'm not saying people have had it easy, but what I mean is, like, if you've got opportunities, at least you can go for them, yeah, so this is where, I'm talking about this investment fallacy. This is where it's then very hard to, turn away from something, just kind of leave it all behind, and it almost feels like you've kind of gambled something away, or I don't know, I feel really guilty over it. Obviously I haven't gambled something away. I've kind of invested really hard, and kind of really worked on that investment to the point where I'm, my health is getting horrendous at the moment, and I'm, you know, yeah, I don't know. Do you know what the sad thing is? When I do these things, I just mean to be on for like 10 minutes and go, boom, this is how I am. You know, this is impact today. And ideally they'd just be really short, kind of little videos. But it's, as I'm talking, I kind of the way that I am, I kind of process stuff as I'm talking, and it helps me think and it helps me realise things. And yeah, it's difficult. I don't know. So yeah, it's part of all this sadness and feeling angry and upset and all the rest of it. This is, and health and etc., is something impact wise. It's also keeping me stuck because the things that I'm trying to do. So say like this, the point of starting these videos is to try and document the process of you know, trying to what's the word, trying to you know, sort of fight against this, or make a difference or something. And what I'm finding is that all the things that I need to do, so like I said, you know, writing those emails, kind of making those phone calls, kind of you know, it's all very well to say you want help with something, but you've got to do something. And normally I do, and I work really hard, and I'll get on with stuff. You know, and there's a lot of funnying around in between, but you know, I generally do, you know, try and do stuff. But at the moment, I'm flat and struggling, and like just feeling like I want to give up. And I think there's part of me that's hoping that all of this can somehow magically be resolved, and then I don't have to do anything. So I just don't want to do anything. But that can't. The sad thing is that it could happen in some instances, but the one thing that I need addressing, which is kind of having some form of compensation for what I've experienced. You know, there's not even kind of processes to do that kind of informally. You want to do that, you've got to take someone to court for it or something. It's kind of, how do I do that? I kind of, you know, how do I do that when the union that I've paid into and their solicitors don't, you know, they don't see or recognise that the impact that this has had, or feel that, you know, because it's so hard to win, it's not worth doing. Thing is, it would be worth something to me, because it would tell me that I'm worth something, that I'm worth, even if I didn't win it, you know, when people that are supposed to be on your side don't, oh god, do you know what, I hadn't thought of it this way, but it's about your personal worth and your value. And I think other people, again, who are doing similar work, will find that because you're not sort of valued at work, it can impact on how much you value yourself. But I think when you finally recognise, actually, I'm worth more than this, I need to value myself, I need to do something about it. And then when you know, something like a union is something that you pay into as well, and you expect more support, and then, you know, you're thinking, well, actually they're kind of almost I don't know, you question, you then question your value, and you question yourself, questioning that. And I don't know, it's just, how am I supposed to, you know, ask others for help with something when, you know, I think actually these people are experts in what they do and they don't want to help, so why would anyone else want to help, you know? And especially if I'm asking people to put their time in and do that. So Could I be spending that time better? Could I be like reading law books myself and trying to do that myself? You know, I mean, you can actually study law for a year, and you know, you do some sort of master's quick conversion course if you've done other courses, and you know, if you've got other, you know, if you've got a degree or something, you can do that. I did think to myself, why don't you just do that? You got brains, just do it, you know. But then, I think it's a bit different, kind of, you know, looking stuff up on your own. Then you know, if you've got somebody to guide you and put you in the right place, you know, point you towards the right place and stuff to do, and kind of. So, and also, main thing, I'm just bloody tired, and I just can't do that at the moment. It's not just the academic or reading side of it. It's the side that is it's a side that it's hard to. When I'm doing that, I'm emotionally, personally invested myself, so that makes it very difficult to do something kind of, you know, kind of academically or work-wise when it's going to impact on you, you know, so much. There's so much pressure, there's so much and kind of like grief when you're doing it. What I'm trying to say is it's really difficult, really upsetting, really a huge amount of emotional labour, and I just I feel at the moment like I just want to give it to someone, and somebody kind of just do that for me, because I'm tired. Yeah, I've always kind of I think before I ever had any union involvement, I just kind of assumed, oh, you just see a union rep and they sort everything out. But it's not really that that simple, and especially when you're kind of going into territory which is new, or that you know, that hasn't been dealt with before, or you know, and I think the result at the moment is just that because it's new, people don't want to do anything about it, or they can't. I don't know. You just get, for myself, I feel as though I'm just seen as the awkward person, or the you know, the one that carries on, or the I don't know. I'm not. Yeah. Just not viewed very kindly, you know. Or viewed as though I don't know, being pathologised, or as though you know, what I've experienced hasn't really happened. It's not as I see it. It's kind of it's perfectly reasonable, and it's okay, and you know how dare I kind of you know, I've almost had it boiled right down to oh, Taylor, no one has to like create a job for you, or you know, no one's like can't take, you know, some sort of discrimination case just because you haven't got a job that you want. And I'm like, you don't get it. Absolutely, you don't get it at all. You know, those I think the point is that those opportunities are created for others when you know, when funding comes in. Those jobs are created, or they're the people that decide what happens with the money, which would go into lived experience work, and not lived experience practitioners, and those roles often do not go to lived experience practitioners, or lived experience practitioners are kept on the very bottom, and it's kind of not right, because there is discrimination, because we don't have the same post to apply for that our colleagues can apply for, because you know, if I apply for another role which isn't an experiential role, lived experience role, experiential end role, whatever you want to call it, if I'm then working in that that way. I've got no leg to stand on. It's like, we're doing this job, and you can't use that approach because this is not what the job is for. Whereas if you've got, it's almost like a protected characteristic role. If you've got an LXP manager who's managing other lived experience practitioners, there's something about the approach which is beneficial to the people that you're managing, but it's also you're taking the work that we do to a different level. You're addressing stigma at a different level. You're kind of actively role modelling that we're valuable, because I don't feel valued. I'm not valued. Because the way that we value people in organisations is through their fucking pay packet, basically. You're not valued in any other way. So if basically you've got a group of people and you pay them on the lowest rung, and when you're asked about it or asked what you're doing to develop it, it's like, well, if I had the money, I wouldn't spend it on that anyway. What do? So yeah. So now I've talked this through. 45 minutes later, I'm feeling a bit better. So like I said with these videos, I just kind of like ramble on, and yeah. So I've done what I need to do today, and hopefully, weekends are always really difficult for me, but I'm hoping that by Monday, I'll be kind of, I don't know, just in a different place. I want to kind of really press on with stuff, do stuff, so that I just feel a bit better. I'm going to feel better if I, contact ACAS, or try and get in contact with different solicitors, just try and do something rather than feeling sad about it. So that's the plan, but it's been the plan for a few weeks now. It's been the plan since before Christmas, and it's just really difficult. So yeah, sorry for anyone who's watching these and it gets really repetitive, but I suppose the whole point is, if I was just doing this for the purpose of I don't know, everything being sunny and great and stuff, the whole point is that this is partly how we get impacted with, so I know that I feel kind of stuck, I don't do anything, and I'm kind of struggling, feeling weepy, health impacted. And I know from my colleagues that a lot of people feel that way too when they're in a similar situation. So, and again, I'm not just talking colleagues like, same workplace or what have you. I'm talking that this is a much wider thing, a much wider issue. So you hear this from people working within other organisations too. So it is valid for anyone who's actually got this far watching the video. So anyway, I just thought, I just thought I'll stop there, I think, because I've become really tired, and yeah, that's probably the cathartic yeah, it feels cathartic, and suddenly I feel a bit sleepy, so I'll do something else. Thanks for listening.